official very last Tumbleocity program of 2021. It's been a really great season, and I'm really glad that we had this opportunity, and hopefully some of you have been with us before, but if you haven't, my name is Natalie, and I am the office manager for Tumble Home. I also moderate all of these sessions, and as usual, I just have a couple quick things to go over before we can get started. So just bear with me and we'll get on our way. First of all, you may have noticed that all of your mics are muted. We unfortunately can't have everybody talking. We do really love it when you participate, but this just makes sure that we can get through all of the material and everybody can enjoy the whole program, and we can ask questions at the end. On that note, the chat is going to remain public, so you can ask any questions there. We do really encourage you to talk and respond to us there. However, we do ask that you don't spam the chat or distract everybody who is participating today. If one of the moderators feels that any behavior is inappropriate or disruptive, unfortunately, those people will have to be removed. We really don't want to have to do this just because it's a great program and we want everybody to have a good time. So if we just focus on what's going on, we'll all really have a great time. We do also record these sessions while broadcasting on our YouTube page. So if you do want to share this program or rewatch it, we will be sending that information in a link in an email tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And lastly, you can currently see on the screen a discount code that is going to get you 25% off our presenters' books, or book rather, excuse me. I will also post that in the chat so that you can click on the link. And again, if you miss this information, we're going to be sending it in the email tomorrow, so you won't miss out, I promise. And on that note, I would very much like to introduce you to our remarkable presenters. We are thrilled to be joined today by Dr. Penny Noyce and Diego Chavez, whose new book, The Book of Wrong Answers, just came out yesterday. It's a really, really wonderful book that follows a pair of siblings through their day as an older brother answers his sister's questions in an absolutely amusing and imaginative way. Diego, our wonderful illustrator, is a native of Brazil who is not just an artist and cartoonist. He also teaches art in Massachusetts. So he's a bit busy, but we're really, really happy to be able to share in his work. We couldn't be more pleased to work with him. The Book of Wrong Answers is his second picture book, and hopefully there are many more to come. And in case you missed it in the beginning, tomorrow is Diego's birthday. So a very happy birthday to him. Please feel free to wish him well in the chat. Penny is a physician, author, and supporter of science education, and this is an astounding fact. This is her 14th book for children, if you can believe it. It's also her very first picture book, and I really think it turned out well, and I'm very, very, very impressed with it. So we're all very happy with this collaboration, and I hope you guys enjoy this book as much as I did, or do continue to. So without further ado, I'm going to launch into some questions for Penny, if you don't mind. Do you think you can tell us how you came up with the Book of Wrong Answers, Penny?
Sure, but first I want to say that although it does seem as if time is passing forever here in COVID time, I do think this is the last presentation for 2020, not 2021.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I time traveled, everyone. We are, in fact, still in 2020. Thank you for noticing that.
So I was driving on the turnpike one day and I looked up in the sky and I saw a plane. And all of a sudden I remembered that when I was a little girl, I thought people got little when they went up in airplanes. And that led me to think about some of the other questions my children have asked me over the years. And also I remembered how much my kids like Calvin and Hobbes when Calvin's father tells him things like, Calvin asks, "Where did I come from?" And his father says, "You were a blue light special at Walmart." So I thought it would be, in the midst of all this trying to get facts across, it would be really fun to write a book that was in children's voices and explored some of the wonder of asking questions about the world for the first time and thinking about what the possible answers might be.
That's fantastic. And as a lover of Calvin and Hobbes, I really appreciate that tie-in. So that's really wonderful. How did you choose Diego to illustrate this story?
Well, Diego illustrated a previous book for Tumble Home called Sometimes We Do, which is a young math book. And I loved his characters. I loved how with just a few simple lines, he got a lot of personality across and a lot about the relationships between people. And since I wanted this book also to be about the relationship between a brother and sister, I thought he could do that in a fun way.
Absolutely. And I think you've made a wonderful choice, having seen both of the books. Diego, for you now, I'd love to hear actually a little bit more about your process, and maybe see some of your work if you don't mind sharing a little bit with us.
Sure. Yeah, I'll begin a little slideshow over here. Let me know when you're able to see it.
Not yet.
Not yet, right?
Nope.
Okay, so I'll just share the screen. You should be
There
able
we
to
go.
see my computer
Yeah.
now.
Yes.
So I will present it. Can everybody see it?
Yes.
Yes.
So this
Yeah.
is the Book of Wrong Answers, and that's the cover. The first thing that was done once Penny, so Penny emailed me, and then we met up and she showed me the script and then she told me about the characters. So I went home and the first thing that I did was create some character designs. So I had the first few ideas for Diego and Gigi over here. She went through a couple hairstyles over here, and Diego was a little bit older when I first designed it. Maybe he looks a little bit like me uh, when I was a younger boy. And Gigi over there, she resembles my niece, Lena, who's who's about that age, and it made it easier for me to relate to those characters as I was thinking of Diego being a younger me and Gigi being my niece. We started doing some cover designs so that we could throw it in the catalog. And what I do first is I sketch them out, and then we decide which ones we like the best or what we like about it. And once we make a decision, then I can just polish it up, redraw it if necessary, and then make the final version of it. So out of the three, this one was the one that probably had the most charisma about it. It gives you a little bit of the sense of what you're going to be looking at inside the book. And overall, I like the simplicity, and I try to make it seem as if a child could have drawn it, because I want to make sure that the artwork has like the perspective from a child. And then the final illustration gets colored, and then I can finally put in the title on top. So you got to always make sure that you leave some room up there, because it's not just illustration, there are words too. So I make a choice of a color palette, and the choice of the color palette that I make becomes the palette that I'm going to use throughout the book for every page. So since I work digitally, I can just use a little color picker, and I can pick the colors from the library that I created and then consistently use them so that, the blues and the reds and the yellows, they're not different every page, because you don't want to lose the immersion that you're having with the story. When I begin brainstorming for ideas to illustrate, I take out, of course, the script that Penny wrote, and I take out some index cards, and just using a regular pen. I don't want to erase anything. I just want to draw, so I use a pen, and I, just doodle away, make a bunch of doodles and see what works. So as you can see in the index card over there, you can see the cover for the book. And that got polished up a couple times until I got to that point, but it started in an index card. And that's how I do the entire book first, all index cards first. And then once you're happy, you can scan them in, or you can take a photo of them. It doesn't matter, because when you bring it into, in this case, I'm using Procreate. I could have been using Adobe Photoshop, but I like using the iPad for illustration lately because it's very responsive. And I feel like I'm painting or drawing on paper minus the mess. And it's very easy to manipulate it. If Penny says, can you add more stars? Or can you take away some stars? I can do that very easily. I don't have to tell Penny, I gotta repaint the oil painting. So that makes it for a good way to work. And that's what it looks like from up close. Penny's text at the bottom, little footnotes and etc. That's the first sketch for page 2 and 3, I believe. And I rework it out, and I make a different sketch, repositioning things that I believe to not be positioned in the right place. So for example, I wanted the reader to, kind of organically move their eyes from left to right, not just move left to right because page here, but actually move their eyes within the composition of the story. So I decided to put the rainbow going across both pages like that. So when you're looking at the rainbow, you automatically go to the next page because you're looking at the rainbow, not because you should go to the next page. and then I executed it in color. And yeah, I like sometimes making clouds look like they're little patches, almost as if it was a paper cutout, kind of sorter. Not everything needs to look realistic. It's good to have a little balance. And that set the standard, because this was one of the first few pages that set the standard for the rest of the pages. So thank you very much. That's the process right there. Maybe Penny could read a few pages with me, and everybody can get a taste for the book.
I should tell you that one of the reasons that I wanted Diego is because in the first book, he did a really great job of showing a transfer from the child's real world to an imagined world. And that's really a very important part of this book, that they're both there at once, the real and the imaginary.
Absolutely. Before we start reading, I have a question. We're going to settle a bet. Is it a lizard or a frog on the cover in the bottom corner there?
I did not take a science book out or a biology book out when I drew that frog. I wanted to make him a frog-like creature.
Perfect.
If I can say so for myself, I think it's a frog, but I don't mind it not being one.
It's very fitting with the theme of the book overall. So I think that works really well. And now I will
what I like
let
to
you.
hear.
Now
I just
I'll
need
let you.
a little cute little creature down
Yes.
there,
Yes, exactly.
A little friend. Oh.
Perfect.
So Natalie, do you have the pages of the book as we read?
I do not. I thought that you had those. I'm sorry.
I have them, but I don't. I can just show the pictures.
That works. I will spotlight your video so everyone can see it.
Okay. This is the first page, and as you can see, Diego is picking his little sister up from school, from preschool or kindergarten, and it's been raining, so he's carrying an umbrella. And as they go out, Gigi says, "Look, a rainbow. Diego, why do we have rainbows?"
A
Hey,
little
Diego.
closer. Yeah, a little closer.
Oh, you don't have a copy of the book?
I don't have it in front of me, Penny.
Okay, there you
Do you
go.
wanna do me?
I guess I can do you if I have to.
All right. Oh, there you go. That's the sky smiling.
No, it's frowning.
I guess it's in a bad mood today.
The sky is frowning because it didn't like the rain. So she goes on the swing and she says, "Now the sky is smiling," because she's upside down.
And if you turn the page upside down, you can actually see it smiling. That was my idea.
All right.
I think
has
Barnes
started
is trying to share.
screenshotting. Yeah, there he goes. All right, let's go on to the next page then. Diego, how far does the sky go?
Let's find out.
Page turn.
Next page. The sky is a big parachute over the earth. Way far away, workers nail down the edges so the clouds can't blow the sky away.
I love these clouds trying to blow the sky away. You know, these guys working hard.
Yeah, they're from Boston or
Okay.
Cambridge.
Next page. Diego, how do planes stay up?
When they go up in the air, planes get really little and light. See that one? It's like a paper airplane flying in the sky.
But how do people fit inside?
The people get really little too.
Are they scared to be so little?
They don't know they're little. When grandma flies, she looks out the window and thinks all the houses and people and cars down there are little. That's called the theory of relativity. When our relatives think we're the ones getting small.
We'll just go on a little more, I think.
Okay.
Diego, where do tadpoles come from?
They fall inside raindrops. Then they grow into frogs.
That's silly. They don't even look like frogs.
But Gigi, they do. Tadpoles grow up to be frogs.
Let's see the picture of the tadpoles.
There they are.
All right, I think we'll stop there. You can read more in your own copy.
Yes, and you can see more frogs. I like how we've come full circle now.
Yeah, full circle.
I'm wondering, I know we had a few questions submitted when everybody registered. I'm wondering, Diego, if you wouldn't mind sketching along while we kind of asked these questions and got some silly answers.
It's what I do.
What you going to make a picture of, Diego?
Perfect.
I'm gonna draw the characters. And since it's Christmas, I'll probably have a little gift for Gigi. Diego might be giving Gigi a gift.
Great.
That's
I'll do that.
Excellent.
Meanwhile, you guys can do your thing. Don't mind me.
Well, I really would love to hear what everybody in the audience thinks the answers to these questions are. So if you come up with some silly answers, please type them out in the chat. I will actually start with a question we got in the chat just now that says, why do rocks have moss? I'm going to throw Penny for a loop here for the real answer in a second, but if you guys want to type out what you think the answer to that is, we'd love to hear what you have to say. I think that it's because some rocks grow hair and some rocks are bald. Teresa thinks they get cold. I like that answer. A couple people, yes, rocks and growing hair. Penny, what do you think? Do you think that it's because the rocks are cold?
I think some rocks like people to sit on them and they want to be soft.
Oh, that's an excellent answer. I like that. One of the questions that we had submitted from Rebecca G, who actually sent us some other great questions as well. We should start with, why do spiders spin webs? What do you guys think? Do they just like to sew? This one's a thinker. We don't have any. There we go. Because they invented knitting. That's an excellent answer, Caitlin. They are the original weavers. Penny, do you have an answer for why spiders like to weave webs?
I think we should ask another member of the audience to think of another before I tell you what Diego thinks.
Okay. Let's see. We have a because they want to catch flies. That's a good one. Or to write messages like in Charlotte's Web.
That's a good one.
That's one of my favorite books. That's an excellent answer. These are all excellent answers. To help pigs stay alive and win at the fair. Or because they are hungry.
I think all of those are good answers. But it's actually sports equipment. They like to play badminton, and they have various different kinds of badminton where the badminton has to bounce off the net and go back, and that's what their webs are for.
I always wondered. I'm glad you could clear that up for us. We have another question from Rebecca G. Why do things fall when we drop them? That's a great question. What does the audience think? So we can pick them up. Oh, that's a clever response. I like it. Gravity. Yes, that is a great answer. A couple gravities. Do we have any other theories as to why things fall when we drop them? Ooh, because of gravity, this is what pulls matter together. Excellent. Oh, because our hands are full of soap and because you don't hold on to them. You guys are so clever. I love these answers.
I like that.
Rising is definitely more work. And so that the floor has something to hold on to. Oh my goodness, I love all of these responses. Great job.
This question, is one that Aristotle asked. And I think his answer was because they're heavy. And he thought that heavy things fall faster than light things.
It's a good theory. That makes sense to me.
Yeah. It turns out that in a vacuum it doesn't work, but okay. I think the answer is either because they're heavy or because it's down. One of those two reasons.
Definitely. Well, I know that when I was younger and lighter, I didn't fall down as much. So that's kind of the same theory. But the last question we have from Rebecca G is one that I think the audience will really enjoy and hopefully get some clever answers for. What do you guys think? Why do boogers come out of our nose and not our mouth? I don't have an answer for that one, but I hope everybody does. Because there are two holes instead of one. I like that because they didn't pay rent in the mouth. You guys are great. These are awesome answers.
What was the second one, Natalie?
Because they didn't pay rent in the mouth. They just pay rent in the nose. It's faster and out of the nose is they're like blow darts. That's a good one. I really like these responses because your nose is not there and they help us sneeze. I like these. Penny, do you have any thoughts on boogers?
So they can get caught in your mustache.
I like that.
Specifically my mustache.
Diego.
Let's see, I'm going to scroll back through the chat because we had a couple of questions pop in while we were answering those that I don't want to miss. Let's see. Why do drinks get hot but food gets cold?
Oh, that reminds me of another question that we got.
That reminds me of another one as well. This kind of relates to what Rebecca R. asked us. And how does a thermos know to keep liquid cold or hot?
Yeah, the question is, when you put something in a thermos, how does the thermos know whether to keep it cold or keep it hot?
Yes.
And I don't know if you've looked inside a thermos. Well, first I should ask other people what they think. How does it know?
Yes. What do you guys think? How does a thermos know? I always just assumed it was magic and didn't think much further beyond that. Maybe there's a tiny wizard that lives inside that casts heating spells as necessary when they sense hot chocolate or soup. Let's see, we have, because drinks are colder than the air and the food is colder than the air, so drinks room up and food cools down to room temperature. Somebody said there's a thermometer. We have somebody else who thinks that thermoses are magic. I'm glad I'm not alone. You whisper to the thermos if it's hot or cold. That's a good idea. It learned in thermos school. Yes, Thermos University is very prestigious. What does anybody else think? Why do you think that thermoses know when to keep things hot or cold? Elf magic. I like these answers.
Well, if you've ever looked inside a thermos, you see that there's a little mirror inside it, shiny surface. And that mirror allows it to see what's going on. And as you put something in the thermos, if there's steam rising off of it and clouding up the mirror, that's the way the mirror knows. That's the way the thermos knows it's supposed to keep things hot. But if there's clinking of ice hitting the sides of the thermos, then it knows it's supposed to keep them cold.
Absolutely. Let's see. Okay, I have one more question from the audience, and then I'll go back to the last submission question because we are running low on time, and I want to see what everybody has to say. This is a really good question from Anna. Why do you guys think plastics are so bad for the environment? What does everybody think about that? I know an official answer. I don't know a silly answer for that because they are hard to keep up with. Oh, you guys have the best jokes. They have bad personalities because it destroys the earth. Yes, absolutely. And just to let you know, Diego, because you're drawing and not watching the chat, Alex is learning to be an artist. He's 10, and watching you is giving him a great feeling of confidence. So thank you for letting us watch you sketch.
Oh yes, yes. Thank you. I think you're gonna become a great artist if you practice every day.
Absolutely. We have one more answer for why plastic is so bad for the environment. Two more answers. Because they are hard to decompose, because rubber bottle would bounce into space if we dropped them. Oh, I love that idea. I want to see that illustrated now.
Yeah.
What was it?
Because a rubber bottle would bounce into space if we dropped them.
Right.
Maybe if we dropped it on the moon.
That's right. Like a basketball.
You don't want to litter on the moon when we get there.
Do you know the answer, Penny, for why plastic is so bad for the environment?
I think it's because a lot of plastic is transparent, so people don't know it's there and they might trip over it, and maybe bugs trip over it too.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I did get one more question. We would like to know, why do bunnies hop? What does the audience think? Why do bunnies like to hop? They're not big on running. I don't blame them. I would choose skipping and hopping over running any day.
Because they like hip hop.
I like that.
I think Kelly
Because
and
of their long legs. I like that. The ground is too hot for them. Hot potato. Because they have springs for feet. Oh, you guys have some great answers. I love these. It's good exercise. That's very true. Hopping is exhausting. They are jealous of the frog. Want to try to be just like them. Barnes, I like that. They don't know how to do the twist. Oh, that's a great dance. Everyone should know that. And they want to try out for the bunny hop competition. You guys have some marvelous answers. Thank you so much. We are running low on time, so I'm going to jump into our very last question from Elizabeth M., who would like to know, how did the world get started? What do you guys think? How did the world get formed? What brought us all here? I always go back to magic. That's my fallback. The Big Bang, great answer. What else do you guys think? I want to hear some clever jokes some more. I'm greedy for jokes. Because trees birthed everything out. Santa Claus brought for Christmas. I like these answers. The universe needed something to do. I like it. The universe needed a job. Absolutely. Do we have any other responses? Is Dine spit out the earth? Is that, I think, dinosaurs? Yes, dinos spit out the earth. And yes to elf magic also. I'm glad that Elliot, Jacob, and Oswin are on the same page as magic with me. Any more answers to why the earth got started?
I think it came from a seed. Well,
It came from the sea?
From a seed. A sunflower
a seed,
seed.
Okay.
A sunflower seed fell out of the sun and it grew. It forgot to make a sunflower. Instead, it just swelled and swelled and swelled and got big and round.
I love that. That's an excellent answer. We also got the biggest marble ever dropped out of a thermos, broke into 1 trillion pieces, and it formed the universe. I like that we're tying our questions together. Very, very well done. It's a large garbage ball. That's not actually incorrect sometimes, unfortunately, especially going back to the plastics question.
Can we look at Alex's fire drawing? Can we just?
I don't know how we can do that, to be honest.
We can't do that. Okay.
I'm going to type my email address in the chat, Alex. If one of your parents wants to send the drawing to me, I'll be sure to pass it on to Diego, if that's okay with you.
Yes, definitely.
Please feel free to email me that, and I will pass it on. Barnes also says that the last universe wasn't good enough, and this is a do-over. I like this. You guys have some great responses, and that was a wonderful, wonderful time watching you sketch, Diego. Thank you so much for that opportunity.
So I just want to say the question about where the Earth came from is another question that people have been asking for centuries, and that many different cultures have come up with different answers for that, which brings me, I just wanted to pop up on the screen a different book that we have, which Natalie is going to show us. This one, 7 Stories About the Moon and Other Science Poems. And the first poem in that tells 7 different versions of where the moon came from. And 4 of them are from mythology, and 3 of them are from different things scientists thought at different times. So it's just fun to think that our explanations, that's why at the end of my book, Diego's in my book, it says what grown-ups think instead of the right answers, because what grown-ups think may also be the wrong answers. We don't know yet. That's one of the fun things about science. We're always trying to figure it out.
That's fantastic. And really quickly, I believe we have the video actually
Oh,
spotlighted
Oh.
on Alex, so we can see his wonderful fire drawing. That's magnificent.
I
Yes,
saw
it
it for a
is.
moment. There it is.
And when
Thank
he
you.
said a fire drawing, I thought he was just using slang, but that's actual fire.
That's hard
And
to
it's
draw.
fire. It works both ways. It
Very
is fire
good.
and it is slang fire. That's fantastic.
And I like the rocks around it too. Very good.
I'm very impressed. And I think it's
Thank
getting
you.
short on time, so we're going to wrap up a little bit here. I do know a little bit about Diego maybe having another project coming out soon. If you wanted to talk about that a little bit more before we say
Sure.
goodbye.
I'll just share the screen real fast and I can show everybody. So I think you can see it now.
Yes.
Yes.
The next book, I think there might be something in front of it.
It's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
So the next book is going to be called Leo and the Plastic Collecting Submarine. As you can see, it's about a submarine and Leo and his mom. His mom built the submarine so that they can go underwater and clean up the ocean from plastic, because the ocean is very polluted with plastic right now. So what a great idea is to build a machine that you can take down there and start collecting the plastic, putting into bags, and then those bags are gonna create a new form for the plastic, which is gonna be that they're gonna become little bricks, so that we can build homes for the homeless. So that way we can repurpose the plastic. It's going to be a very fun story. I'm writing it and I'm illustrating it. It's the first one that I write and illustrate. And Penny and Barnes, Natalie, everybody has taken a look at what I've got so far. And we think that it's going to be a very fun project. And I'm very excited to work on it. And I think it's very important to teach young children about the pollution of plastic, but also do it in a fun way where they're gonna actually get excited about doing something about it. And the one last thing is the Sometimes We Do book, which Penny already mentioned. That was the first book that I illustrated. And I think that this is a very good book about math. If you want to teach your children about math elements inside a children's book, this is the book to get. And I fully illustrated it, so I like it.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. That was all I had to say about these.
I have a quick question before we sign off. Alex is wondering, how do you draw on your iPad?
How do I draw on my iPad? You get the Apple Pencil, and the Apple Pencil connects via Bluetooth to the iPad, and you get a little program called Procreate. And with that little program, you can just use the iPencil and draw on the program. And after that, you can share with friends, or you can put it up on Instagram. You can look for a job and become a successful illustrator if you keep at it and keep practicing. I recommend it. It's something that you can save up some money to get, and it'll last you a long time, and you're gonna have a lot of fun doing it.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. And bye, Alex. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. A huge thank you to Penny and Diego. This is a wonderful book. Don't forget to grab your copy. Keep an eye out for Diego's next book. I'm very excited about it. And now that I know what year we're actually in, please stay tuned for our upcoming Tumbleocity programs in actual 2021. We're going to have a great series coming out for you soon. So stay tuned. And thank you guys for joining us. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Great comments in the chat. I thank you all for participating. Hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful close to your year.
Everybody.
Bye, goodbye.
And I want to remind everybody, that we have an awesome YouTube channel with other great videos. And I just put it in the chat if you want to check it out. There's new videos all the time.
Thank you for the kind words about the illustration, everyone.
And happy birthday, Diego.
Yes, and happy birthday, Diego.
I'm
Go
gonna start
celebrate.
celebrating right now.
Right? Birthday and a book release. What a week. I love it. That's my kind of birthday.
Yeah, right. It's good. Yeah. So
All
There's
right.
a good question in the chat for you, Barnes, about who do we talk to for copyright permissions? You'll have
Yeah,
to
I just replied. I will send you an email shortly, and you can send me an email about what you want to do. Thanks.
All right. Well, on that note, I'm signing off. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
bye. Thank you.
Bye, Diego.
Bye bye.